She froze when the knock hit the door, 3 slow, heavy knocks that didn't belong in her tiny apartment. Sarah clutched her phone, staring at the text she'd sent by mistake. "I'm sorry to bother you, but I can't afford the medicine. I don't know what else to do." She never expected a reply. She definitely never expected a visitor. Her heart hammered as she cracked the door open, and there he stood, towering, polished, out of place in every possible way. A man in a tailored charcoal suit, expensive shoes that didn't belong anywhere near the cracked concrete floors of her building. Dark hair slightly windblown, sharp jawline, warm but unreadable brown eyes. And in his hand, the exact medication she had been begging the universe for. "Are you Sarah?" he asked softly. She couldn't speak. She could only nod as her son coughed weakly behind her. "I'm Daniel," he said. "You texted the wrong number, but I think maybe it was the right one." She didn't understand. Not yet. Asterisk if this story touched your heart. Please subscribe and share it with someone who needs a little hope today. Hours earlier, Sarah had been sitting on the cold plastic chair next to her son's hospital bed, trying to hide her fear. 7-year-old Noah, with soft curls and kind hazel eyes, had always been a fighter, but his chest infection was getting worse. The doctor gave her the prescription, and her stomach dropped when she saw the price. She didn't have it. Her 2 jobs barely kept them afloat. She'd whispered to herself, "Just one miracle. Please." She meant to text her neighbor who sometimes lent her a little money, but exhaustion made her mistype the number by 1 digit. Her message went to a stranger when she finally got home with Noah wrapped in a blanket. She saw an unread message from the unknown number. "Where are you? I can bring it." She panicked, apologizing, explaining it was a mistake. She told the stranger to ignore it, that she'd figure something out. The message that followed sent chills down her spine. "What's your address?" "I'm coming now." She tried calling the number. No answer. Tried texting again. Nothing. She locked the door, double-checked the window. Noah fell asleep on the couch, coughing through his dreams. Sarah sat beside him, staring at the door like it might explode. And then the knock came. Now, standing face to face with the man she accidentally cried out to, she felt small and overwhelmed. Her apartment was cramped, the paint peeling, the lights flickering every few seconds. Why would you come here?" she asked. Daniel looked at Noah, then back at her. "You sounded like someone in trouble," he said. I couldn't ignore it. She wanted to refuse the medicine, but her son coughed again and her resolve cracked. She stepped aside. Daniel entered quietly, his expensive cologne mixing strangely with the old lemon cleaner she used to keep the place fresh. He knelt beside Noah, checking his forehead with surprising gentleness for a man who wore watches worth more than her annual salary. "He's burning up," he murmured. "He needs this tonight." She nodded, swallowing tears as she prepared the dose. Noah blinked awake, confused. "Mom, who's that?" "Just someone helping," she whispered. Daniel studied the room. No toys, just one small shelf of secondhand books, a sofa patched with duct tape, a tiny table with a single chair. Sarah felt exposed, like he could see every struggle she tried to hide. "Do you have food?" he asked suddenly. She froze. "We're fine," she lied. Daniel opened the fridge anyway. 1 carton of milk, 3 eggs, a half bottle of ketchup, nothing else. She felt heat rush to her face. "Please don't. I'm not judging you," he cut in. "I just want to understand." He pulled out his phone and made a call. She didn't know who he was calling or why, but minutes later someone knocked again. This time a delivery guy holding bags of groceries. Sarah shook her head. No, you can't. "Let me," Daniel said. "You need help." "Why?" she asked, voice cracking. "Why are you doing this for me? You don't even know me." Daniel's expression shifted, something vulnerable flickering in his eyes. "Because once, someone helped me when I had nothing, and I promised that if I ever had the power to give that back, I would." She didn't know what that meant until he stepped outside to take a phone call. Curious, she peeked through the window. A black SUV waited outside, shiny and new. The driver opened the door and bowed slightly. Even from a distance, Sarah could tell Daniel wasn't just wealthy. He was powerful. When he returned, he offered a shy smile. "I didn't want to say it," he began, "but I'm Daniel Hart." Sarah blinked. The name meant nothing, until he added, "Hart Industries." Her jaw dropped. Everyone knew that name. Billionaire. Tech empire. A man she only ever saw on magazine covers. She stared at him like he was unreal. Why would someone like you care about someone like me? She whispered. Daniel stepped closer, his voice calm and sincere. Because struggle looks the same no matter where you start. And today, you texted me on the exact day I needed to remember that. He spent the next hour helping her organize the groceries, fixing her flickering light, and even replacing the batteries in the smoke detector. Nothing about him was arrogant or forced. When Noah finally fell asleep again, Daniel walked toward the door, pausing as if debating something in his mind. Sarah, he said gently, if you ever need anything, and I mean anything, don't hesitate to call that number again. Her eyes filled. Thank you, she whispered. He turned to leave, but Noah's sleepy voice stopped him. Mister, are you an angel? Daniel looked back, stunned, then smiled. Not even close, kid. But maybe. Tonight I was supposed to be. And with that, he stepped out into the night, leaving the door slightly open, not just literally, but symbolically. A door to a new beginning. A door she never expected. A door she'd never forget.